So, Cold Storage is a horror comedy starring Joe Keery, Georgina Campbell, and Liam Neeson. The plot basically follows Joe Keery and Georgina Campbell's character as they play two workers at this storage lockup facility that basically, as it turns out, has been built upon this government facility that has been used to hide away this parasitic alien life form that over the years has just started to kind of seep out and make its way back into the surface when these two workers are currently on the night shift there. So we basically have Liam Neeson here, who has basically got some past experience with this alien fungus, and that it's basically, so he's kind of like hot on their tail to try and haul them their asses out of this storage facility and kind of aid them. We've basically got a Joe Keery's character who, from the get-go, seems to be having this like antagonistic relationship with his boss. It feels like that element isn't really fully utilized to its full potential here. But there's a little bit of I don't want to reveal, obviously, to go into too much detail about subplots and stuff like this, because I'm trying to keep this as brief and as spoiler-free as possible. But basically, there's a segment later on where we get this little bit with this biker group, which seemed to be like a bit of a throwback to the original Dawn of the Dead. I thought that this was a fun concept. It's a really colourful movie. I can really like it. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of over the past 20 years, we've got quite a lot of these movies from these like infected zombie subgenre, and this kind of falls into that category, although obviously this leans much more into the goofy comedic side rather than playing it straight. But yeah, this is a much more vibrant and much more colourful addition to that subgenre, as well as being a goofier and more comedic addition. But yeah, so I thought it was fun enough as it all in all. I did like the way that what they brought into this, how this parasitic fungus can like infect people in a way that basically our protagonists are not just trying to avoid people who are infected, but basically this parasitic fungus has this ability where basically if it's in the vicinity of a group of people who are uninfected, it can cause a host to just like self-combust, and so basically they're trying to not only avoid the infected, but they're trying to avoid the splatter from the blast radius from this. This leads to a lot of like really fun gore. And this is another thing that I quite enjoyed. This movie is quite reliant on CGI gore, and usually I'm not really a big fan of that, but for some reason, maybe it's just the tone that this movie has or where it's been utilized, but I thought it was fine, and I think the CGI came off really fine. It kind of works for this type of movie that they're going for. So it's a movie I could see myself revisiting some time over the future. But on the whole, for some reason, as fun a concept as this was, and as much as I enjoy this little subgenre, there was something about it that just kind of stopped it from being a real thumbs up for me. There was something that was just causing it to sag a little, and I struggled for a while to kind of pinpoint and put my finger on it really. But I think that it's down to a couple of things. I think that maybe one of the main ones is there is a slight pacing issue. This movie doesn't really outstay its welcome. It only runs over just over an hour and a half. But yeah, it does feel a little bit saggier than that, and I think that maybe part of the reason for that is just the characteristics that Georgina Campbell's and Joe Keery's characters have, and the relationship and the dynamic that has. It's played so like chill, and they're so like laid back, that it kind of never really you never really feel like it's ramped up urgency with it. Like I said, you've got this little subplot where they got like kind of Liam Neeson trying to track him down, and he's kind of like in tow and trying to race towards them to try and aid them in combating this fungus. But there's never that sort of race against time. There's never that, you never really feel that urgency. It's almost just kind of like feels like, oh, we'll get here when we get here, and we can just hold the fort until then. Like, it's a bit, yeah, and it kind of somehow just slows the pacing of it down. I think maybe another factor is that it's just, I don't think that necessarily the chemistry between the two quite gel for some reason. Maybe that's a much more subjective thing. Maybe other viewers would totally disagree with me, but for some reason, and then I can't even quite put my finger on it, but there was something just about the dynamic that wasn't kind of landing. I don't think it's any of the actors' fault, because I think both Georgina Campbell and Joe Keery do a great job with what they're given here, but for some reason there's just something about the dynamic that doesn't quite mesh, I don't think. And yeah, so overall, guys, I thought that this was a pretty fun idea. I don't think it was necessary. It's got some cool ideas. I think that anybody who's looking for like a little bit of just kick back and turn your brain off, then I think you could have a bit of fun with it. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think this movie was really just needing maybe a more grounding element, in the sense that there wasn't really anything too much to latch on to here. So I don't think that, apart from obviously the whole little bit about Joe Keery's character having this like antagonistic relationship with his boss, I don't think there's anything too much else grounded in reality for you to latch onto to kind of like really bring it more into the real world, or kind of ground you or anything. It's all very superficial. But yeah, so I think because of that, and maybe just because of its pacing, it meant that I didn't quite enjoy this movie as much as maybe some other people might. But overall, guys, I would still give it a thumbs up. I would still give it a 6 out of 10. I don't think there's any need for you to go out to the cinema and watch this or anything, but I think you could have a couple of drinks and then have a all right time with it, streaming it when it comes to digital platforms at home. So yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to ring a bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please feel free to let me know down in the comment section if you've seen Cold Storage or not. If you have, what are your thoughts on it? If you haven't, are you planning on seeing it? What's your excitement level? All of that fun stuff, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, you guys take care, and I will see you guys on the next video.